Greetings, YouTube. If someone's hungry, you give them food, and they're no longer hungry. If someone's ignorant, you give them an education, and the ignorance dissipates. If someone's homeless, give them a home, and they cease to be homeless. These might seem like radical ideas to some people, but in the latter case, homelessness, they're actually doing it in some places. In particular, Sam Tsemberis, founder and CEO of the Pathways to Housing, is doing that. They're giving homeless people a place to live. Now, one of the models that has been used in the past is that a homeless person wants to get into the system, wants to get off the street, wants to find a place to live. A long-term residence, not just a shelter. And many homeless people don't want to have anything to do with shelters because they often come with criteria they don't want to have to deal with, and they can often be places where they get robbed or they can be attacked or assaulted. So they would rather take the risk on the street. But the model in the past has been like, you have to do X before you get Y. So you have to be clean, or you have to go to a certain program, or you have to jump through a series of hoops while being homeless on the street. The problem, of course, is being homeless on the street is your full-time job. Making sure you have some level of safety, you have food, you have what few possessions you have left still are secure. Taking care of yourself is your full-time job. So it's really hard to be jumping through hoops on a schedule when you're homeless. So Sam Tsemberis came up with the radical concept of just giving them some place to live. Once they have some place to live, then offering them counseling, drug help, programs like that to get them to transition back into a functioning member of society. And they're using this program, and it has so far has a retention rate of 85%. So 85% of the homeless people that enter this program no longer homeless anymore. And they seem to target the chronically homeless people, which are people who have been on the street for more than a solid year, or who have been homeless, I think it was 3 or 4 times over a 3-year period, showing a repetition of getting housing, losing housing, getting housing, and losing housing, because of personal issues or because the system has failed them in the old style of programs. And an 85% retention rate is incredible. I would love if all of our social programs had 85% success rates. That would be great. And the reality is we have far more empty housing units in America than we have homeless people, by I believe a factor of 3 or 4. And yet we have homeless people. And we have people who are at risk of homelessness at a drop of a hat. It could be a single paycheck gets missed. A car breaks down, and suddenly they have a bill they can't handle. Someone gets sick, because in America, you are still screwed by many bills, even with the ACA in place. So, having these kinds of programs is really important. Giving people a place to live gives them the stability that then lets them deal with drug addiction and psychological problems and legal issues, so that they can once again return, become a functioning member of society. It is something that we should all be endorsing. This is an act of compassion. This is an act of humanity. This is a sign that there's hope for us. So I applaud Mr. Tsemberis' efforts, and I hope that this continues and spreads across the nation. That we convince all the red states and all the conservatives and the social conservatives that the best path to ending homelessness in America is to give homeless people someplace to live.